Hello and welcome to Social Work 556. This is section 860, Advanced Social Work and Research Methods. This would be an totally online course. We start, actually today, January 19, and May 7 is actually the last day, not of courses, but final exam. Um, the last class would be maybe a week or so before that. That would be the last class, then the finals on that week of the 7th. Well, all of you should have had the first research method class. So some of these things are not exactly new. Now, this class is focused on program evaluation. And you're asking, what is program evaluation? Well, think about, for instance, the agency, or if it have a different name, but it's not an agency, um, that you did your internship. Um, so, evaluating what they do or what you did. So, this is shall I say, somewhat more practical, because it's not necessarily, and I emphasize necessarily because it can be, for, you know, academic, research. This is more of you need to tell if you're, um, you know, what you're doing in your agency or at work. It's up to par, so to speak. So that's, one of the differences. We're still going to do a proposal, but it's going to be different because we're taking, or you're taking, a real agency, the one that you're familiar with, and try to develop an evaluation. Now, remember, it's a proposal, so we're not going to conduct the evaluation itself. We're just proposing it. And also, even though, we're dealing with a real, uh, place, maybe you can take some liberties in terms of, you know, what the evaluation is. I'll be, I'll give you more details, not necessarily today, but later on. Uh, what I mean is that, this proposal doesn't have to be something that it will be done, for real, but it will show, how well you comprehend it and how well you can manage a program evaluation of a, social work agency um, or institution. Let's move along. Most of this you would know. It's, my information. Um, since we're dealing with, online courses, well, I will follow those hours that I put here, but it would be more of a, if I'm in the office, you can call. If not, you can start a virtual meeting and so on and so forth. But, always, and I say this all the time, ask for, help as soon as possible, you know, um, because, the sooner you ask, we can get to the solution, obviously sooner, and we can get it resolved. Sometimes students, and people in general, including myself, live off to the last minute, and then things become harder and harder. So don't, and this is a lesson for life. Don't live tough to the last minute, including your assignments. Okay, I don't think I need to go over this. Um, that. So here's the first important thing. So this is the textbook. Royce, Thayer, and Padgett, Program Evaluation, an Introduction to an Evidence-Based Approach, which you obviously are familiar with what evidence-based is. Let me switch my screen for a second and show you. So, if I'm doing this right, you should see a picture of the book, 6th edition, and you have the all the information. Now, you don't have to use this website, but this there's a way of just renting or buying a e-textbook. Not, I guess it says or, so I guess it would be either way. Now, I would think that renting is cheaper, but there's probably it says the cheapest way, which I'm gonna guess is renting, is $28.39. Now, I don't know if there's taxes, and obviously there won't be any shipping and handling if you do it as an e-text or an ebook, right? So let's continue with here we go. So supplemental books, not necessarily, but an important one is the APA, or the American Psychological Association publication manual, which is the APA style. Now, in last year, they came up with the 7th edition. So I always been a proponent of using it, following, and so you're responsible for the for the APA. I mean, some of you probably are familiar, but not necessarily the changes that coming in that were done for the 7th edition. So anyway, it is required to use it. The style, you can use a website. There's plenty of websites that could help you figure out the APA style. I'll get to this hopefully later, but one trick that I show to my students in 555 was that if you use Google Scholar, there's an option for, I think it have a symbol which I can't remember, but it's for citations, and then you click on that, it gives you the APA. Well, it gives you several in PA and APA and the other ones. So you can just cut and paste the correct APA style. If not, a lot of times when you get an article from the web, a lot of times there's an option to get the citations. So anyway, I'll probably produce a video on that at some other point. Moving along, somebody mention that, and I'm gonna forget if it was for an internship. I think it was for an internship or for a job, but really it applies for both. That um, one of the supervisor, the person who was interviewing one of the students, called one of our faculty members, probably, whoever, I mean, not whoever, but somebody in charge of placement, and said, I was so impressed with this student, blah, blah, blah. And because he or she, was citing or talking about the competency and how these competencies relate to the work we do, meaning the agency. Well, not a, as I mentioned, most of you would be doing this work, this paper on an agency. So it's good to, figure out, oh, they do this, this competency is they are involved, in doing work that relates to this competency and this one other, and so on and so forth. So, needless to say, having at least a basic knowledge of the competencies is a good, at a minimum, and I hate to put it this way because, I want you to do more as opposed to less. But, if you at least have an idea of the 9 competencies, and maybe you don't know that the competency number 9 is evaluate practice with individual, families, group, organizations, and communities, but you do know that that particular one is a competency. Maybe you don't know that it's competency number 9, but I think more important is to know that that particular competency, the one I just read, it is there, even if you cannot say that it's competency number 9. And you probably don't want to just throw in, oh, that's competency number 2. You probably just mention, this is a competency that I think your agency, da 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 da, and it's, evaluate practice with individuals and so on and so forth. So, just a hint. This is some of our learning outcomes. You did learn a little bit about single system design last semester. Well, actually, some of you may have taken 555 earlier than last semester, but so single system design. And just as a reminder, this is I guess I can call it the simplest way of research design. However, simply doesn't mean that it's not effective or it's less appropriate or anything like that. And actually, for practical purpose and in social work practice, it's one of the most common research design that you would find. So hint, when you talk about your program evaluation proposal, you'll use one of you could, I mean, you don't have to, you can use something else, but a hint, single system designs. And then I'm not going to talk on this video about what is program evaluation because, I did mention something, quickly. Instead of all this stuff about system requirements, you probably know, because you're not probably not a first year student, or at least you're not a first semester student. But I do want to mention that please don't use your phone to do, um, try not to use it to do any work that is graded. And I say that for several reasons. One is that, screen is small and, it's harder to write, and you want to do your best job. I know that if it comes to that, then, better than nothing. Well, yeah, a ton. It is better than nothing. And I know some of the restrictions, especially now with the pandemic. But I recommend, definitely for things that are graded. I mean, I recommend not using your cell phone for coursework. Like I said, the size that might be influence your quality. I don't know if this is necessarily true, but there might be some other problems, like in the middle of something, it can go out of service or something else. Technically, I think it might be more common with phones. Uh, there's probably other stuff like how things are set up that it may not be as set up for the screen or for the phone. Something, all of that. The other thing I want to mention, and um, I sometimes come across issues with. There's nothing wrong with using a Mac, but sometimes when people use, it may be called Pages. I'm not a Mac person, and they upload your assignment. Um, this is not when you type directly into Canvas. This is when you upload. Sometimes I had trouble. So if you can use Word, that would be great. And if not, well, don't be surprised if I have to email you back. Um, I would think that by now, meaning, it's been a while since Canvas been around, that, maybe the issues are not so um, problematic. Um, let's keep going. Also, the thanks you is for um, technical support and technical um, issues. Um, by the way, if you, I don't know if you noticed that I make some corrections as I was talking, and uh, please be um, aware that that may be the case. Well, I'm sorry. That what I meant to say was you may find some error or what you think some error. Please make sure you email me and tell me, and if it's significant enough, I'll give you some bonus. Um, but remember, it's always good to be good to the your instructor, and if it's, oh, you're missing a comma here or something like that, well, yeah, you can tell me that, but I'm obviously referring to major thing that you may be confused, because as in everything, when you help tell something, it could be a quiz that, oh, you found an error. You're not only helping yourself, you're helping the rest of your students, and that is certainly appreciated. So here is the course schedule, um, and you see nothing different in terms of weekly discussions and all of that. If you have taken a course with me or with most other instructors, what may be new in terms of this class, and by the way, everybody else who's teaching this class would be doing, using pretty much, I would say they have you kind of have to. We all use the same syllabus. Having said that, or remember, um, in this class, you're kind of doing, step by step or phase by phase, phase as in, um, pieces of it, um, of your proposal, your evaluation proposal. So it also, first, it prevent from, you doing everything in the last minute, which, doing this proposal at the last minute, the whole kit and caboodle is a large, big undertaking. So it also gives me a chance, to see pieces of it and give you feedback and so on and so forth. So pay attention to when things are due. You see, agency interview, da, 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 da. And there's explanation of what everything is. And I always, I'll check that, that I have included those in Canvas. I'll go there in a minute. That I have examples of each of these assignments. Okay. Not sure that we will do a presentation, but presentations, I give you points for that, so it can only help your grade. It's a PowerPoint. You can attach audio. We are all familiar with, recording ourselves with a phone, or now that everybody and have available, and you should know this, everybody connected to JSU have a free Zoom account. So you know that you can sort of record yourself, record the PowerPoint in the Zoom, and then just save it, and either if it's part of, anyway, you know the drill in Zoom, or but we'll talk about it. Like I said, it's 25 points to be, it's not, I'm gonna say that it's an easy 25 points, but it is 25 points that, with a little effort you can get. There's some information here. We're gonna do discussions like I always do, and late assignments. You get a penalty. Obviously during the pandemic, people have obligations. Children and family and all. So I'm open to to hear what anybody situation is, and I'll we'll work on it. I may, hopefully, I did copy the right dates from the above table, but you get an idea on and what everything this course takes. And to here's the grade scale. This about the discussion and participation. Remember, I just don't want 2 or 3 sentences. Also, even when you do the discuss really with your fellow students, I just don't want, oh, good job. That's good that you, but that's a cop out. Just saying that, it doesn't, I'm not going to say it doesn't make your partner or fellow student feel good, but that's not, what those comments on replies they're all about. So quizzes, about that agency, and here's where the explanation for every single of those assignments as page 17, agency interview for a program, except that I even give you a sort of template here, you know, so on. And here is the, um, instructions or description. You ask me how many pages. Well, I give you a suggestion, of how many pages each section should be, and it's a little bit different than your previous um, proposal in 555, budget, and I gave you also a template, the reference, remember APA. In appendices, you don't have to do necessarily the IRB, but just as a how should I say that? It's a good thing to know about IRB. So, it can only help. If you don't do it, you can still get an A if, it's a good proposal. But, if I am in between and, you know, and, oh, but he or she, went the extra mile, then, I reconsider the grade. So now, and then the ones that I do want you to include are, if you have any instrument, which is a scale, you're gonna have them, your clients go over an interview. Here's where you put the questions, or you're having them fill out a stress scale, and protocols may be, in this agency, we take an intake and we do this and etc. Those are the protocols. Here is, as you can see, the APA. It's as important. If you want to know what makes a good paper or a good assignment, I include the rubrics. So, if you say, why didn't I get an 80 something instead of a 90? Well, I can say, well, in the introduction, your thesis statement is clear, but, it's not, as good. And then 70 unclear, and so on for everything. We really don't have Verisite. We have in Turnitin. So everything it is would be run through Turnitin. Please check the results. If you have a high percentage of, sort of, not sort of plagiarism, usually those software overestimate that percentage, but it's still a good indicator. So you want to keep it low. Sometimes when it tell you 20%, it's really like 10. So I really not gonna do or take points of return if it, at least from my consideration, if it's less than 10%. But having said that, 20, it could really be 10 or whatever. That's when I make the decision myself. But if you get out of the in the report 9%, I wouldn't worry. Not gonna do anything about it. I will, there might be other issues, etc. And remember, by the way, that everybody in that is connected to the JSU have it's allowed. Well, we'll get a Grammarly account That's Grammarly.com. And, it obviously is for grammar and, and this software is really helpful. Um, a lot of times I noticed that the student didn't even do a spell check, but this is way more than a spell check. And it's free. It can only help. And, it is, as professionals, you should try to submit and write, the best way, your best, so, put your best foot forward kind of an attitude. If you want to know how to get either the Zoom or any of the other, including Grammarly, any other applications that are free for students, staff, and faculty, to contact IT. You should have received an email about it. So if you didn't delete it, then it should be in your, where your email is. I don't think there. Anyway, if you ever feel any, sexual misconduct or any related to, misconduct, here is the number to call. And if it obviously gets really bad, call the police. Um, Not that it can't, I would think that during the pandemic, I can't say that, hopefully say that this is, but, not a big issue. And I don't want to, say that it isn't, but, I'm just thinking that it may not be, but, there still could be harassing through electronic media. And that is, we all seen it, we all heard about it. I don't know that there's anybody, but if you have any disabilities, remember it's not only mobility; it's also hearing and seeing. So if there's anything you need, uh, please call and even notify me. There are ways to closed caption, material. I believe Canvas can and YouTube and all many other um, software and programs and applications allow to be closed caption, which is, everything is type at the bottom. So if you need any of those, or you just have children um, and you want, well, no, you can always use headphones, but just let me know. I say there's no extra credit, but there could be bonus and optional. Um, this last thing on the syllabus, which is the Social Work Student Association, I think it is Miss Tina. What am I? I'm thinking. I don't want to mispronounce her. Gustavus. Didn't want to mispronounce her last name. Who's maybe have? I think she might have information about this. I think it's being revived. We have some great students right now. So please, if you're not involved, please get involved. Anyway, the last thing, as an announcement, please contact Professor McKinney or Miss basically the person in charge is McKinney, about joining or getting inducted. I believe that's what they call it, the Phi Alpha social work. I don't know, because fraternity is for, guys, it is an honor society. Yes, I think it's an honor society for social work. Um, Definitely, good networking. And good job. They do a great job. And you will be. I would think that you stick to social work. So it's good to keep in touch and also meet and connections. Like I said, networking. Um, it's probably all I want to go over the syllabus. Remember, this is the book. I want to go to here. So here's what actually it won't look like this to you. So, oh God, where is it? There's a way to get the student view. Why I'm not seeing that? Uh, well, anyway, there's a way to see the student view and won't let me. So, but pretty much similar. So, you know, um, I think the most important thing here would be the module. So let me show you something. Now, I have not added this video, obviously. So, okay, so that's actually wrong. Uh, so I need to change that. Anyway, I need to change the dates there. So you don't get points to remind me because I caught myself. So there should be, if you can see, there are videos um, for lecture videos. And there would be more on each of the. Um, oh, by the way, there's no spring break. I need to fix that this semester. There is a break which I have to look um, somewhere. So I do need to make certain changes. And also, um, here is where you get all the um, sort of help for the evaluation proposal and, for everything in between. This is where I may also put it somewhere else. Oh, no, it's here, really. Let me go to where it says example. Let me go to the first one. May not be. Let's see. Oh, I just use this one. So this is due on that day. And then there's a sample. I actually have two samples. These samples are um, submissions that students made in earlier years or previous years, and supposed to be the best of the best, meaning they're not perfect. I did change the name and hopefully any recognizable information. Um, Probably I won't necessarily change the name of the agency. I may have changed the name of the supervisor there, but anyway, you have examples. And if you do, at least as good as these examples, you'll get a, good grade. All right. And again, do not miss, please use them. There's always questions. You see, that's why I asked um, you guys to notice anything, um, can remind me I notice some of it. This always happens. I don't know. I get better vision when I'm creating this videos. Um, let's see. Um, oh, by the way, don't. I guess I can do this. Remember, I'm not gonna necessarily give you points for every. I mean, extra points for every. You know, assignment. But for your final proposal, I suggest that you have a meeting with one of the consultants at the Research Center for Writing, Rhetoric, and Research. By the way, all of this, it would be online, so it would be, actually, I'm not sure if it would be Zoom. I'm always, well, yeah, online appointments. Um, I'm not sure, let me think, would be Zoom. Um, I guess they may have their own system. But anyway, um, that's how you'll get extra points. They should give you some sort of proof that you attended the a section, or maybe if you, I don't know how many you can go per semester, but if you need it, why don't you use it? And remember the conferences. This is where we can do meetings and talked about the work and questions and everything else. I should create one that says virtual office hours, so I'll definitely do that. I think you would get an option to use this net tutor. Now, for most of what is here, you probably don't get. They're not necessarily. We don't. There's for other areas or other fields, but this one, the online writing lab may be a good help in case even if you, in addition to the Richard Wright Writing Center. You see here, I don't know if it's the same tutors are in the, actually not sure, but you have this is a service that is provided free to you that the university is, buying or paying for, that it may be worth your while. So that next tutor. Um, I don't remember if this was available before, but the chat, right now is showing that obviously I'm the only person online. But if you go in and you can see that I am, right, you see, then you can start a chat, and it doesn't matter which way we communicate. It matters that we communicate, and I'm gonna um, you know use that was my quote, and make it my personal quote. I'm sure somebody has said something similar, but I'm gonna claim it as mine. um I can't, let me finally double check. So I did that. uh did that. Let's see. If you want to know what an electronic book looks like, maybe it looked like something like this. You can go to the, uh, first chapter, you know, and, there's a lot of different things and bells and whistles you can use. May not be exactly the same because mine is as an instructor, but you can definitely, use it. And as long as you remember the URL, right, and your password, you can read it anywhere and use it anywhere, even as you go along, going over the PowerPoints, etc. So, I like to have, I prefer to have both the hard copy and the electronic. It give me more options. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else to say in terms of the um, welcoming video. This also counts as part of the first um, class, because in the first class we always discuss the syllabus. So this may have gone a little longer than I would have liked, but you can think of it as you know we have covered. The actual first week lecture would be um, much shorter, right? Anyway, just I know it might be a little late, but happy New Year! New Year! Let's all start this year as a new beginning, which is a new beginning in many ways. This may be the year that we finally, um, maybe not everything will end in terms of the pandemic, but hopefully a lot of things would get much better, and we all, um, well, there is hope to feel everybody feeling better, and that's why I wish. So stay safe, stay healthy, take care of your family, take care of yourself. Like they said in an airplane, please put the mask, you know, which the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on somebody else. So take care of yourself first. Doesn't mean that never means that you don't care about everybody else. In fact, it means that you care about everybody else because you're taking care of yourself, and that makes you a better caregiver. Um, so talk to you soon. Bye bye.